Ever find yourself doom scrolling through Steam, searching for something, anything to play? Friends are busy, your library is just boring, nothing jumps at you, and then suddenly you spot a game you barely remember or maybe never even seen before. That was me when I stumbled on Stalker 2 on the Steam page. I had no idea what I was getting into until I was already playing the game. Even then, I still had no idea what the fuck was going on. What I found was a wasteland as rich in treasures as it was in horrors, mutants, acid, wild animals disfigured by radiation, zombies that somehow know how to shoot guns and tank multiple bullets to the head, and worst of all, normal people. Stalker 2 is a first-person shooter game with survival and horror elements. At first glance, it may not seem all that terrifying, but fear isn't just works in the shadows. It's about how you survive and where Stalker 2's gameplay shines. From tense gunfights to brutal survival mechanics, every moment in the zone feels like a battle of forces of nature that dwell within it. You'll be scrounging for ammo, supplies, resources, and wishing you packed your brown pants before jumping the fence into the zone. The gunfights are tense when you're low on ammo, scrounging around for cover and trying to hide from the aforementioned horrors. All while trying to keep yourself fed, alive, and rested. Stalker 2 never gives you a moment to rest. So to start off talking about Stalker 2, let's talk about exploring the zone. Just how big it is and what you'll actually be searching for while wandering through its dangerous landscapes. And some basic mechanics of the game that I would like to explain a little bit. The zone's landscape is littered with anomalies, strange reality-bending phenomena caused by the lingering radiation. These things don't just sit there looking weird, they actively warp the environment in dangerous ways. We're talking acid pools on the ground, gravity-defying bubbles that send objects flying or rip you apart, and they can even scale to a full-blown tornado that you have to traverse to get a unique artifact out of it. As soon as you start exploring, one thing becomes clear. This game loves throwing loot at you. Everything in the world has something to scavenge. Stashes, human NPCs, random abandoned buildings, it's all fair game. Everything you'll be gathering loot-wise most commonly, like medkits, food, ammunition, grenades, can be found almost littered everywhere. From kitchens and houses, abandoned buildings, factories, or even smaller structures like bus stops. If you're anything like me, spamming your interact key and picking up everything gives me so much dopamine that my receptors are even more fried than when I'm watching TikTok. But the catch is that you can't carry everything. Every single item has weight. Your armor, the guns on your back, even the ammo in your pockets, it all adds up. The moment your inventory crosses into the yellow bar, you'll start slowing down. Sprinting drains stamina faster. If you really overdo it, you're going to lose all your movement entirely. Managing what you carry is key to survival. The further you stray from a safe zone, the more important it is to only take what you need. Unlike a game like Dying Light, night doesn't make enemies stronger, but it doesn't mean it's not any less terrifying. Once the sun goes down, the darkness is oppressive, your number one enemy. Whether you're outside or in an underground tunnel in the middle of the day, you'll barely be able to see 2 feet in front of you without your flashlight. But using your flashlight comes with a risk. Mutants, bandits, and anything that lurks in the shadows will be able to detect you quicker, due to the giant beacon that might as well be a "hey, shoot me" sign stuck to your forehead in the middle of the nighttime. Although in truth, stealth is horrible in this game, but most people have made videos on that already, so I won't touch on it too much. Just know that enemies typically detect you through walls. And once you're detected, that's it. There's no way of hiding, breaking line of sight, or having them forget you. You just run away until they despawn, and it makes it kinda lame. It would do the game a real benefit to improve upon the stealth. It would open the door for more playstyles in different ways to take on missions if they're on your first or second playthrough. Because as of right now, stealth has almost 0 options to begin with, so it makes more sense and is a better time saver just to go in guns blazing. So unless you're brave or don't care about waking up your entire household with a sudden mutant jump scare, turning off your headlamp and getting back to a safe zone before nightfall is usually the best option. The map in Stalker 2 is massive. To put it into perspective, GTA 5's map spans over 75 square kilometers, while the zone in Stalker 2 covers roughly about 64 square kilometers. Whatever the hell all that math shit means, man. I don't know, I'm just reading what the internet tells me. And the best or worst part about the size of the map, depending on how you feel, is that there are no vehicles.
You have to walk just about everywhere in the game. Other than that, you do have guides that can take you to and fro any safe zones that you've been to before. This is something that I like because I love exploring. I love going from one end to the map to the other with no loading screens. It gives me time to really take in the world and see what it's got and see what it has to offer. And it works very strong and is a must for a game like Stalker 2, where looting and scavenging is core to the gameplay. But other than the zone trying to kill you, you have to do what you usually suck at doing in real life: taking care of yourself. Taking care of your character with eating and sleeping is the most important thing. Kind of. Eating is the more important out of the two in my opinion, and through my gameplay experience. I had to eat way more. If you don't feed yourself, you'll really feel the debuffs. A decrease to stamina regen, an increase to weapon sway, messing with your aim, then eventually death. So as soon as I saw that little white ham shank icon, you bet your ass I popped open a can of meat. The other status that you could have affect you was sleep or drowsiness, but it felt like it wasn't even in the game at all. I never had to go to sleep. Now I did go to sleep, absolutely. Never did I actually need to sleep other than a few missions that involved the arena. Why have sleep in there if you're not going to be able to see it at all? I felt like I was going to and from a lot of main missions, safe zones, and exploring the zone in general before even seeing the nighttime icon. Granted, most times I would go to sleep just to move the daytime forward, so it would be daytime outside and I could see where I was going, and it was a lot safer than nighttime in general. But sleep never crossed my mind really whatsoever unless I really just needed to pass the time forward or when it was convenient for me. And it doesn't really speak to the survival aspect that I was kind of looking for in the game. Sleep is essentially useless and pointless to use overall. It serves no detriment or benefit to the player. And so what I propose if we were to change it is for it to decrease your maximum health the longer you stay awake, as I feel like if you don't sleep after being shot at, scavenging, and looting for 3 days straight, you wouldn't be in the most tip-top condition, along with your armor and weapons degrading. This would make it very important to always circle back to the nearest safe zone or to stay within range if you're doing some casual scavenging, so you'll make sure you stay close to a safe zone or somewhere where you can find a bed to get some rest. Taking you over to another main aspect of the games is going to be the weapons, and how you yourself can upgrade your character. Weapons, much like everything else, can be found throughout the world or given to you via quest rewards. There are a bunch of variety of weapons for you to use, ranging from pistols, assault rifles, snipers, and even an RPG. So your loadout customization options are almost endless. While there are some better options towards the late game and even just in general overall, I only want to mention my favorites because I typically go for feel rather than damage numbers and looks because I'm shallow as fuck. Weapons in this game feel good. There hasn't really been one weapon that I could say that I absolutely hate, but there have been multiple weapons that I can say I can absolutely love. Early on, the Decider became my go-to. It felt reliable and solid, perfect for the start of the game. But when I found the D&I Pro, it felt like a direct upgrade. Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy shit, this thing fucks. The D&I Pro was just overall a huge step up compared to the Decider. It felt like I could take on anything with this, along with my trusty M701 sniper. It feels just like the one in COD 4, and also you do get to have a master key attachment for those close quarters combat scenarios. It is a wet dream of mine to have something like this in an open world game. My absolute favorite gun in the game, however, was the Mark I EMR. Semi-automatic marksman rifle that packs quite a punch. EMR-1 was something I used a lot on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 when doing the stealth missions with Captain Price. As well when paired with the revolver, which is also another very, very powerful gun that I use for killing mutants of all things because of how much damage and armor penetration it just has with the right upgrades. It was the closest thing I could get to being a poor lonesome cowboy wandering the zone. And while I have mentioned it, upgrading your equipment, your armor, can be done in almost every safe zone for a cost. The technicians are where you go to upgrade your weapons and armor, which upgrading them are vital to your survival. Nice. Every armor and every weapon that you can pick up has a different set of upgrades unique to it. Some completely change the ammo type, or such as turning your semi-automatic weapon into a burst rifle. Not only do they upgrade your weapons and armor, but they also repair them. It's best to do it as soon as you can before it gets too damaged, because they can be very, very costly. Because if you neglect to repair your weapons and armor, they will start to break over time, and your armor won't be as protective, and your guns will begin to jam, which I don't have very much footage of because I did not want that to happen. I was very on top of it. I did not let my weapons really get degraded that much. Not every technician is the same though. Different technicians in different safe zones will be able to add different upgrades to each weapons, which some upgrades require you to find the blueprint for them before you can even purchase them, giving more incentive to go out and explore looking for your weapon upgrades as well as your armor upgrades. Going from place to place, picking up whatever you can is always good for money. The best way to get a lot of it is side quests. Along with the new patch, they have given you such a boost to credits in general when you complete quests. Doing them as often as you can, whether it's something as simple as grabbing an artifact for an NPC, or clearing out a little bandit camp, or doing a whole side quest that involves you help the merchant in one of the safe zones take over so she can run the place for herself. Her reasons for asking you to do so are an anomaly to me. Speaking of, anomalies aren't just hazards, they're also hiding spots for one of the most valuable things in the zone. Artifacts. These are rare items, the bread and butter of any stalker survival, worth a hefty sum of credits if you sell them, or powerful enough to augment your character in different ways. Some will boost your defenses, increase stamina, or let you carry more weight so you can sell more. But there's always a trade-off. Radiation. In the bottom left of your HUD is where you can measure your radiation. Once that bar fills to full, you'll start taking damage over time, and get this awful static effect on your screen. Every artifact emits it, meaning you'll either need a lead container from a suit upgrade, or another artifact that grants radiation resistance to cancel out the downside. The catch is, lead containers only protect one artifact at a time, so you'll need to think carefully about what you equip, but also using an artifact that gets rid of your radiation only works for one artifact, so you're taking up 2 slots in that case. So finding a good armor set with lots of lead containers is a must if you're wanting to really augment your character in that way. But I just had so much fun picking up new loot and going from location to location, putting off the main mission as much as I could, just like when I was playing Skyrim back in the day. The game is so open and free, it felt like I was playing my own game compared to everything I've seen on YouTube and Twitch, and just the story in its entirety. I felt like the main story was second compared to my own enjoyment, because at a certain point you can just go anywhere in the game, no matter what, and get kitted out whenever. Now that can break some enjoyment for some people with breaking the progression of the game. Some people like getting super powerful from as soon as they can and just waltzing through the game like an unstoppable force. Although if you're like me and was disciplined to not use Minecraft cheats to get your stuff back when you died, you keep it mellow and only go so far as to not overindulge in the loot but continue the story but still have your own freedom. It's genuinely just a very fun game, something that I've been craving for a while. No DLC that is super invasive, no battle pass, and even then there is a co-op mode coming down the line, so I hope I can get some of my friends into this game as much as I have. Been obsessed with it myself. You can genuinely find some funny moments in this game, especially with some of the glitches. Most of my footage is from before the big update where a lot of that got fixed. But even with all the bugs, crashes, FPS drops, it didn't stop me from having a genuinely fun time, even with the Faust boss fight that I'm not sure if I even have footage of right now. Almost completely setting my PC on fire, screaming for it to be put out of its misery. It is now unfortunate that it is so rare that we get a game like this that comes out in its full on entirety, even though I know this game was in limbo for quite a while. Stalker 2 is pretty hardcore, but it does have 3 difficulties: easy, normal, hard. I was playing on normal this whole time, but I think I'm going to go for a more difficult experience on my second time going through. Because I felt like after I got some of my really good weapons that I've shown and talked about, much like my beloved EMR1, I felt like I was kind of cakewalking everything, and especially with the abundance of medkits, food, and overall items I had. But that's all the reasons why I really love Stalker 2. It's got a huge map for me to explore with some infinite replayability options, especially with multiple endings, which I actually haven't even beat the game yet at the time of recording this, but I have like 60, 70 hours in it anyway, but it's really fun, I promise, I promise, I promise. Anyway, it's got some more content coming in the future in the form of co-op. There's no pay to progress fast passes in the game whatsoever, and it's not even priced at $70 like most games are these days. It's one of the very rare few games we get in this day and age that is one price and you get the whole entire game, not locked behind a pre-order bonus or a DLC that was coming out with the game before even it being launched. I hope you guys did enjoy the video and my thoughts on Stalker 2 in general. I did stream a lot of this footage that you see on screen or on my Twitch, which I will link in the description and throw up on screen here. Please follow, subscribe, and comment. It really helps boost in the algorithm just to kind of boost my channel up there. Or if I should go try any of the older Stalker games like Stalker Gamma. Other than that, see ya.